you know what else? I just watched a really funny Brittany Broski TikTok, guys. Let me get my audio equipment set up and then we're gonna talk for like an exorbitant amount of time, more than you probably want to, honestly. But it's all questions you asked me, so what can I say? Okay, my only prereqs for this was that I got to be comfy cozy, so just smacked myself in the face with a freaking microphone. So I brought a pillow and I'm wearing basically pajamas, but I'm not gonna wear these headphones anymore. I just put them on. Oh, and I wanted to be hydrated. I have a bubbly. I'm gonna open this for you ASMR style. I want to hear it in the headphones, so I'm gonna leave them on for this part. Sorry if they make you feel like I'm Calvin Harris or another DJ. I don't know many DJs' names, so I just went with him. Wow. Wow. That's like maximum ASMR. Okay, today, you guys, is literally a Q&A. We're gonna talk for so long, you're not even gonna want to talk to me anymore. I got all these questions from my Instagram. I asked you guys. My Instagram's always in the description if you guys want to follow me in case I do another one of these in the future. But yeah, I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions for your Q&A. I said to ask me literally anything you wanted, and you guys did. I don't even know where to start, really, or if there should be like categories to this. So I guess I'm just gonna dive into wherever I feel like whatever I do first. I've never done a Q&A like this before. I've done like the little question box on Instagram, which is what I used to ask you guys, like the questions, but I've never like done a sit down Q&A. So, okay. All right, let's start with an easy one. We'll give me what is that called? A softball. What do you do for work? I have a bachelor's degree in graphic design and advertising. I work for a temporary housing company where I am on their marketing team. I'm a graphic designer, literally, for a marketing team. I work for myself the rest of the time. I have a shop that I run. I do this. I do Instagram stuff. I work for clients on the side as well. Yeah, my shop's probably my favorite part of what I use my degree for, but it comes in handy with like just anything I do on Instagram too. I obviously work on marketing teams that like hire influencers and hire content creators to make content. So it's cool to see both sides of it and know like the back end as well. I've done freelance work for lots of different Western brands. You've probably seen my work lots of places and you just didn't realize that it was mine. How often do you guys travel for rodeos? So right now we're not traveling very much for rodeos because a lot of them are, well, right now we're in like a lull in the GCPRA season. So we will be traveling again come September. That's when all the like big rodeos start up again. So we'll be traveling a lot then, but we mostly just travel around the state of Arizona since it is an amateur association, not situation. But Ethan plans to pro rodeo, so I'm sure we'll be traveling a lot more then. But the farthest we go is like California or sometimes Nevada. That's some of the rodeos that we've been to. The same person that asked that also asked for a house tour. I'm thinking about doing one. I have one on my Instagram, like as a reel, because there's not like a ton to go over. We live in a trailer, fifth wheel, full time, and it's not like a huge space to like explore, I guess, but I could do one of my house if you guys want to. Let me know. Okay, next one. I'm giving myself all the easy ones first. What app do you use to edit your videos? I don't use an app. Since I am a graphic designer, I use the Adobe Suite for pretty much everything I make. Not pretty much everything, for everything. I literally edit all of my reels in Premiere. I don't know, that's probably overkill for a normal person. You could edit them in iMovie or something, but I went to school, so I use the Adobe programs. I use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop for a lot of like my stuff I sell in my shop and things like once I draw things out on Procreate and then move into there. But like for all video stuff, I use Premiere. I use Premiere Pro. I use a little bit of After Effects when I want to, but honestly, that's a beast I don't even want to deal with if I don't have to. Okay, favorite place you've traveled to and why, and where is your dream destination? I really just want to go outside the country. I've never been outside the country. So that is my dream destination, literally anywhere. I think the first place that I'd really like to go is Italy. Not because I want to go there more than anywhere else. I just feel like there's lots of stuff to do in Italy and it would be easy to fill like a long trip. The place I probably most want to go is like Scotland or Australia. I feel like I'm supposed to be, this is a side note of my life. I feel like I'm supposed to be Australian. Like I think I was supposed to be born there. I love Australian music. I didn't even know I loved Australian music. And then I started looking into, I like fell in love with this band called Sticky Fingers. It's like very Australian. And then I realized that like basically every artist that I love is from Australia. I also follow a lot of like comedian, like comedy YouTubers from Australia. And I love the C word. And I love just everything about Australia, really. I think I'm meant to live there. I think I was supposed to be born in Australia. My favorite place I've gone so far, it's so hard because for me, it's more the experiences than the actual place that like matter to me. As far as beauty, like I don't think anything will ever top Sedona, Arizona for me. I go there all the time. I love Sedona. And it's in Arizona, so it's not like that crazy of an answer, but for beauty, I don't think anything will ever top that. In terms of like favorite trip I've been on, as of recently, my favorite trip that I've been on was my trip to Bend when I was there for 10 days to shoot that barrel race with Garnet and Taylor. We just had such a great time together, and like the vibes were great. We worked hard and did a lot of work, but still enjoyed each other's company, and just like, I know I felt really rejuvenated after that trip, even though I worked the whole time. Also, me and Taylor and Garnet, we work really well together. We get things done like fairly well, and I just feel like we're good. Our whole friend group is just a good mesh whenever we're together. And so I feel like Bend was really fun, and it was cooler there, and it's so pretty in Bend, and it's different than what I see every day. Like I think Arizona's gorgeous, obviously, but going somewhere that's so different from where I live, like it's really fun. Okay, book recommendations to get back into reading. I could talk about this for probably 6 years. I literally, whenever anyone DMs me, this is a DM I get quite a lot, like, what do you recommend I read? I have so many, like, it depends on what genre you want to read. So I'm going to throw out a couple different genres and what I think you should read if that sounds good to you. When I'm in a slump, when I don't know what to read, I always read a fun, lighthearted romance, like something that's just like fun and goofy and nothing too serious. And I would suggest literally anything by Ali Hazelwood. This is what I'm actually reading right now, is Love Theoretically. This just came out. I'm obsessed with her books. Every single one of them makes me squeal like a little girl, and I literally like can't stop. Like, they're so good. They're so good. She wrote The Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and Love Theoretically. So if you're looking for a fun little romance, which even if you don't like romance, listen, I thought I didn't like romance, and then I started reading them as a joke, and then I actually was like, wait, this is not a joke anymore. I love, some of these are really good. There's a lot of bad ones though, so you just gotta be careful. But here's me, Katie's stamp of approval, anything by Ali Hazelwood. Read it, and I think that will get you back into reading. In these books, element I really love about them is that they're all about women in STEM, not nauseatingly so. It's like a fun amount, and you just learn a lot about what it's like to like get your PhD, be a physicist, be a biologist, like what that's like, and how research goes, and how grants go, and like, I don't know, postdoc. There's so many things that I've learned from these books, and I love this women in STEM representation. So yeah, they're really great. They're all slow burn, enemies to lovers, all my favorite tropes. Very good. Okay, when it comes to fantasy, the things I would pick up, things that have gotten me out of a slump, I really loved Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. That's 2 books in the series. There's going to be a 3rd one coming out later this year. It's a fantasy about, like, it takes the place in the same universe as Caraval, if you're familiar with other books. But it's just very whimsical. It's like very fairy tale-esque. It's got a broody, grumpy guy and a sunshiny girl, and I don't know, it's very magical and just like light and airy and fun. It's like cotton candy. So I would recommend that. And then also, what is another good out of a slump book that's fantasy? Oh, 6 of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. You cannot read those books and not have the best experience of your life. Sorry. They are the best books probably ever written. And I'm not even going to elaborate. They're just so good. Ragtag team of criminals that join together to become to achieve a heist. They're so badass. They're so fun to read. They're like banter, and their friendship, their friend group is, I envy it so much. I love it. So 6 of Crows, Crooked Kingdom. Those are my book recs if you are trying to get back into reading and you are in a slump. Okay, next question. A crazy story about something that happened to you. I liked how vague this was, that it was just like any crazy story about something about me. So I'm going to give you a fun fact that's crazy about me. I was born with 12 fingers. No one ever believes me when I say this. I was born with 12 fingers. They cut them off when I was like 8 weeks old. If you can see the 2 little, I'm trying not to knock over the mic while I show you. Yeah, the 2 little dots on the sides of my hands. Those are where my extra fingers were. They were cut off again when I was like 8 weeks old. I do not remember having them, but it is a fun fact that I whip out all the time. They had no bones, which led doctors to believe they had no nerves, but they had little nails and like hair fingers. This feels so weird to talk about on the internet. So they just chopped them off, and they didn't realize they had nerves, and now I have exposed nerves on both sides of my hands, and I can't put my hands over anything hot this direction, or it feels like I'm being stabbed. So there is that's a crazy thing that happened to me. Would you rather explore space or the depths of the ocean? Space, 100%, 1000%, not even a question. I love space. This again goes into my love of physics. I'm like a total nerd, and in another life I didn't get an art degree. I went to school for something like in academia, and I love academia, and I oftentimes wish that I went into that route of life, but I'm much happier with no stress and being creative. But I love space, and I watch like lots of things about the universe and wormholes, and I don't know, I love space. A lot of you asked how me and my husband met. I got that multiple times. We met when we were like 16 working at Chick-fil-A. Ethan was a cook. I was a front counter girl. I was dating someone else at the time. That's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but we ended up, a year after breaking up with the guy I was with when we met, or not a year after I met Ethan. And that me and that guy had broken up, the other guy. We went on a date. I DM'd him on Twitter, and we went on a date, and I didn't even think that it was going to work out. And it really did. Clearly, we've been married for 7 years in October, and we got married when we were 19. We were engaged after 3 months after we met. I knew right away. I was like, this is it for me. Like, this is the guy. Like, he's perfect, and he is. I have the best husband on earth. A couple of you guys also asked, do we want kids, or do I want kids? I have always been super like career driven and focused more on like that kind of stuff. And I was really young when I got married, and I knew I did not want to be a mom early at all. The earliest I would want to have kids is probably 30. Unless something changes, that's my plan. I will worry about it after I'm 30. But for right now, I'm just having fun and enjoying life. I have 3 younger sisters, and I've been around kids my whole life, and I love kids, don't get me wrong. But I loved not having the responsibility of anyone when I moved out, and I've loved it so far. Like, just getting to have time with my husband and me, just us, like, has been really special. And so, yeah, I don't know. Ask me after I'm 30. Okay, if you could have had any other name, what would it be and why? This is a really interesting question for me, because this is something you guys don't know about me. My legal name is not the name that I use on Instagram. Like, Katie Blue Kepler is not my legal name. It is something else, and I don't really think I want to reveal it because I like no one knowing. It's not like a crazy different name, but it's like that's a variation of my name, and it is not my legal name. And I don't know if I actually want to disclose what my real name is. I like being mysterious, and it's not even that mysterious, but like, I guess Katie Blue Kepler is the name that I would pick for myself. That is what I love. Should I do it? Should I tell you guys the real? Okay, here we go. I'm just going to explain. I'm going to explain it, but I'm going to leave a part out. So my real birth name is Caitlin, which I feel like is a given. Like, that's not surprising, but a lot of people get thrown off by that. I spell my name with 2 I's. You've probably seen like Kaitie, because my real name's Caitlin, Kitlyn. So you take out the Lyn and you do IE, it's Katie. Get 2 I's. But yeah, I've not gone by Caitlin since I was like in 5th grade. So like lots of kids that grew up around here with me, they still call me Caitlin, like if I run into them somewhere, but I haven't gone by Caitlin. Katie is always what my family called me. It's what all my friends called me, and it feels more me. Caitlin is not me. I don't look like a Caitlin. I don't act like a Caitlin. I feel like a Caitlin is a lady that takes your paperwork at the dentist. Not me. My middle name is not Blue. It is Irene. However, I have an explanation for this. When I was in high school, I was I was in, I don't know, English or something. And there was like a ton of Katies at my school. There was like 3. And there was 3 Caitlins in my English class, including me, or Katies in my English class, including me. One of them was a Caitlin F, which my maiden name starts with an F. So they couldn't call me Caitlin F. They needed something else. And some guy in the back row yelled out, why don't we just call her Katie Blue? Because she has blue eyes. And after that, I like made my Instagram handle Katie Blue, because like everyone in my English class was referring to me as it. And I had like just gotten on Instagram, was like, oh, I'm going to make this my handle. And after that, everyone in my hometown referred to me as Katie Blue. Whenever people would like mention me in conversation, they'd be differentiating between Katies. the whole school would be like, are you meaning Katie so-and-so or Katie Blue? And it stuck. And I just started using it. People assumed it was my middle name because I made that my like Instagram handle, Katie Blue, which like most girls do like their first and middle name. I mean, I just went with it because I loved that. And I wished it was my middle name. So that is what I go by still to this day and what everyone knows me as. My last name that I use on Instagram is my married name. That's Ethan Kepler. That's his last name. But I actually never legally changed my last name when I got married because I'm too lazy to go to the Social Security office. So my legal last name, I don't know why I said I wasn't going to tell you guys my last name because you know it if you follow my sisters. It's Prereq. I'm literally just divulging all my secrets to you. All mystery of my pseudonym is gone. But I like keeping my legal name Prereq because when I go to work or somewhere, I just give them Prereq as my name. And they can't go look up my social media, or they can, but it would be harder for them because I use Kepler online and Prereq in all professional settings or the doctor or whatever. So hopefully people don't find me, and I really like it that way. I like keeping my lives separate. So yeah, my real name is Caitlin Irene Prereq, and I go by Katie Blue Kepler. Such a good... Mad Dog, I can't say your last name, but that was such a good question. You didn't even realize I had a fake name on Instagram, and you guys just got a golden story from me. Cookies or brownies? Cookies always. There's so many different types of cookies. I'm a big cookie person. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Invisibility. 100%. I want to be invisible. I'm like speed rounding these now. How long have you ridden horses? I've talked about this a lot on our podcast, Call Me Cowboy, but I grew up with like backyard trail horses, nothing serious. We literally rode them bareback in like halters, and like it was, I knew nothing. I did not know what I was doing. We just had little backyard ponies, like, and then we had a hobby farm, like cows, chickens, ducks that me and my sister took care of, turkeys. We had basically every animal you could possibly imagine. We owned it at one point, and we like slaughtered our own beef, eggs, we ate the ducks. We ate everything except for the goats. We did not eat the goats because that would be weird. Maybe it's not weird. Actually, there's lots of people that eat goats, but like me, I wouldn't eat a goat. I feel like I'm over explaining this now. Moving on. I started really seriously riding when I met my husband. And he was like super into rodeo. I absolutely fell in love with rodeo. I love everything about it. The horse stories, the horses, like I became obsessed with horses, learning how to ride better. Roping. I rope very, very like amateurly, like in the backyard for fun because I enjoy it. I specify that because I do not want, like, I have this thing where anytime I get a hobby, it can't just be a hobby. It needs to be like, now let's make it into a business and take it really seriously and add this pressure onto it and try to, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, don't know how to have healthy balance. So I try to keep healthy balance with horses because I genuinely love my horse. Ping Pong is my soulmate, and I just want to spend time with him and enjoy him. So I don't care too much about, even though I'm usually a very competitive person, I try not to care too much about competing. I just enjoy my horse and love him. But yeah, that's how long I've ridden for. Probably 5 years, 6 years. Not really that long compared to a lot of people. So fave iced coffee ever and go-to coffee order were plentifully asked. You guys were like really like begging for this. I have a lot of go-to coffees, and okay, we're gonna break it down. One of my favorite coffees you can get in a drive-through line, okay, you can like pull up to the coffee stand and get it, is at Black Rock, the cookie cold brew. I really love their cookie cold brew. It comes with a cold foam on top with their cookie seasoning, flavoring. I say that like it's like, why did I say that? Okay. Cookie cold brew from there. If I'm going to go to Starbucks, I don't like Starbucks coffee. I like their light roast a lot, but only like when I make it at home. I really honestly will not go to Starbucks unless I have to. I would rather go to Black Rock. That's probably my favorite place to like go get coffee. If I'm going to like a coffee place and not Circle K, which you guys all know is like actually my go-to spot. But if I'm going to Starbucks, I will get a nitro cold brew with sweet cream cold foam on top, or a shaken oat milk, the brown sugar shaken oat milk espresso. Love that drink so freaking much. If I'm at Dutch Bros, my go-to coffee is a iced breve with lavender and vanilla. I think it's lavender and vanilla is what I get in there. Yeah. Oh no, white chocolate lavender. Sorry. White chocolate lavender breve with soft top from Dutch Bros. If I'm going to Circle K, I get whatever their seasonal favorite is, usually if I like it, or I get the hazelnut coffee on the ice setting on the little machine. Then I bring my little bed over and I put hazelnut creamer in it or French vanilla creamer in it. It's very simple, nothing intense. That's my go-to at there. Also, I love matcha. If you haven't tried matcha from Starbucks yet, get a matcha with strawberry puree and vanilla shaken in. They'll just squirt that gun in there and just put the puree all at the bottom. Don't let them do that to you. It tastes like Fruity Pebbles. So good. Ugh, I literally want one right now. And matcha is just like, I love coffee so much. Like, I cannot begin to explain to you how much I love coffee, but matcha is so much better for you. Like, it releases caffeine throughout the day. It's a slow release caffeine, so you don't feel that crash that you feel when you drink coffee. And I eat it up. Love that shit. Okay. Best place to buy authentic turquoise, either silversmith made or Native American. I have a couple places that I frequent. Okay. My number one place, like, no matter what, she's going to have something that I like in different variations. Where this like little guys from this little pendant, and also this chain from Kitty K Ranch & Co. I have a code through her. It's Life Wayward if you want to use it. I love everything she has. I have quality jewelry from her. Everything that I bought from her has been great. I've invested in some nice pieces from her. Yeah, I freaking love her. My chains, the big ones I wear, not this little one. This little one's from Kitty K. My big chains are from TC Indian Jewelry. I love them as well. They're a fiance team. So cool to buy jewelry from, like, a couple. I don't know. Their chains are amazing. I love it. They're really well made. They hold up. They're just so fun. I love layering stuff. So I buy a lot of stuff from them. And then Rad Gems. These two rings on my pointers. I wear these literally every day. I don't think I can get it to focus. There you go. This one and this one. Everything she makes is incredible. I love it. She has the cutest freaking jewelry. And like I said, they're so comfortable to wear. That's a problem for me, is I find a lot of rings are not super comfortable. Rad Gems rings, I just feel like really, like, I don't know, like I can move, I can ride, I can feed, I can do whatever I want in them. And it feels like I'm not even wearing a ring. And I love that. Having comfortable fit in rings is really important to me. So yeah, Rad Gems. Besides that, I really love thrifting stuff. I like antique pieces that are weird and broken or messed up in some way. I like to grab random rings that are just like in a jewelry store stamped when I'm on vacation. This one's from Utah. This one's from Jerome, Arizona, when I went there. I like just little random pieces. I have a whole series on my TikTok if you guys want to go watch of my entire jewelry box tour. And I tell you where everything's from in there. Most of the stuff's from Kitty K and now Rad Gems and TC Indian Jewelry. I think I have codes with a code with TC Indian Jewelry too. It's Life Wayward as well. But yeah, that's where I get all my jewelry from. Oh, also the Facebook groups on Facebook. If you guys can get in the Facebook groups and the buy sell trade groups where you can like swap, you can like haggle. The buy sell trade turquoise group specifically, there's multiple of them. You just literally look it up on Facebook. I'm in a bunch of those, and I've gotten so many pieces from people on there and been able to buy vintage, cool, unique stuff. I like stuff that no one else has, you know, the weird stuff. First car, current car. My very first car was a 1996 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra Supreme, and it was she was a mess. Her blinkers didn't blink, and you blinked them yourself. And also my driver's side window ended up breaking, and like it wouldn't roll down. And so I asked my dad to fix it, and he accidentally welded the door shut. So I couldn't open it, and I had to slide. It was a bench seat in the front. I had to slide in from the passenger side. I honestly miss that car all the time and wish I kept it. I have so many good memories in that freaking car. My current car is a 2015 Chevy Spark. I've had it for literally ages, since I graduated high school. And I love it so much. Like, I'm not picky about cars. I don't need fancy. That car has so much sentimental value to me. I literally want to drive it until it has no wheels anymore and cannot go anywhere. Like, bury me in the Chevy Spark, honestly. Is that embarrassing to say? Bury me in my white Chevy Spark. Favorite eyelashes. Oh, I could talk about this all day. So recently I tried, Ardell has this like physical line randomly, and so I tried a pair of those and really liked them. I can't for the life of me remember what they're called, but those were pretty cool. They've seen their last days though. They are in the trash can. They lasted me a while, but you can't buy like multiple sets of them. So my go-to is the Ardell Wispy in the style 01. They're super long, super crazy. They're very intense. A lot of people would not want to wear them. I love them. They are gorgeous to me. Or you can just get a regular it's a Kiss So Wispy in the style 01. The Ardell Wispies in black are also great. They're a tame version of the Kiss So Wispy ones. Favorite rodeo event? I have to say team roping. That's literally what my husband does. And I don't just love team roping because of him. Like, I just genuinely love the sport of team roping. I love the way the horses work. I love the teamwork of not just like the horses and the riders, but the riders together and their horses and like all that stuff. But I do keep up with barrel racing pretty closely. I would never want to run barrels myself, but I do really love barrel racing, and I keep up with it pretty frequently. And if I'm at a rodeo, I'm gonna plant my seat in the butt when the barrels come. I don't really care about steer wrestling that much. I don't really care about calf roping. I like breakaway too. I will watch the breakaway. If the rodeo has breakaway, we'll watch that. But the girl events and then team roping pretty much. Favorite meals. My favorite meal on earth right now is Marry Me chicken that my husband makes me at home. If that's my at home meal, literally the best food I've ever eaten in my life. Like, I hope you're watching this, Ethan. Please make it for me again. My husband's a great cook because he's a firefighter, and so he has to cook in the firehouse all the time. And wow, his cooking is literally so good. Could eat Marry Me chicken every day for the rest of my life and be so happy. As far as like going to go eat somewhere, I freaking love Indian food. Tikka masala is one of my favorite things on earth. I could eat it every day for the rest of my life and never ever be unhappy. That with some garlic naan and a samosa could be my prison meal, like my death row meal. Just saying. How can I meet you at the NFR? Guys, if you want to meet me at the NFR, shoot me a DM. Let's try. I would love to like meet up with you guys somewhere. Maybe I'll like set a day where I can meet people. In the past, I've just like, if someone's there, they just swipe on my stories while I'm there, and I'm like, hey, where are you going to be today? If I'm going to be there, let's meet up. Sometimes I just walk past people in Cowboy Christmas and we meet that way. Sometimes we end up in the same bar or whatever that night. We hang out. Whatever works. If you're going to be at NFR, shoot me a DM. We are going to NFR. I did not want to go because NFR is so stressful. It's like the worst week of your life and also the best week of your life. And I just really did not want to go. My last NFR was so stressful and I did not have a good time. And so I didn't want to go, but Taylor and Garin did gaslight me into attending. So we already got our Airbnb. We will be there. We get there on the first day. We leave on the last day. Literally, I'm going to be there for a full on 10 days with my husband and Garin and Taylor. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited, but like I didn't want to go at all. And now I'm like so happy that I'm going and so excited, mostly because I get to stay with my friends for 10 days and they live so far away. I never get to see them. So yeah, but if you're going to NFR, hit me up. Let's chat. Let's figure it out. I'm going to be vlogging the whole time I'm there. Really excited. Yeah, let's meet at NFR. Most embarrassing thing to happen while vlogging in person. I don't think there's been one specific thing besides getting kicked out of the Barnes & Noble that has been like really awkward. Just people are always staring at you when you're vlogging in public. Like people see the camera, they look at you funny. It's weird. It's really hard to do on your own. If I'm with somebody, it doesn't really bother me that much, but it's weird for people to see you talking to a camera, talking to yourself, carting it around. Everybody feels weird about it. So like I get it, but yeah, just vlogging in public in general is very awkward for anyone. For the people watching me, for me, the whole group, we all feel uncomfortable. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's all we're going to do for today. I definitely want to do another one of these soon because this was really fun. I feel like we got a lot of really good stories and questions that I wouldn't have usually told you guys about, like just on a regular candid talking. So I like having like the back and forth. Maybe we'll do some other ones of these. I think it would be pretty fun to like have you guys ask me things and answer them, like, or just give me topics to talk about. I don't know. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. I think this is going to be a Wednesday video. I'm trying to post on Sundays and Wednesdays. Don't hold me to that because then I will get stressed out. So we're not talking about that, but I think this is going to be a Wednesday upload. So if it is, that would be cool. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I hope you had a comfy, cozy Q&A time with me. Thank you for asking me questions. If you are one of the questions I answered, there were so many answers or questions. I didn't get to all of them. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment down below, give me all your feedback. I feel like there's not as much action in the comments on YouTube, and I want more of it so that we can like talk. Like I want to have conversations with you guys. I feel like we have more conversations on Instagram because there's like DMs and stuff. So like talk to me in the comments. Tell me how you feel. What are you thinking? What's the vibe? Okay. I love you guys literally so much. I will see you in the next video. Okay.